quit it, man. Just, if you have an idea and if you believe in that idea, more importantly, because first you have to believe. If you don't believe in something, you never even get there. Because you got to believe it, man. You got to see what, not what it is, but what it could be. Like, hey. Yes, sir. Marble then. Yes, sir. Marble sandwich with just pickles, you said?
No,
Just sauce, right? Marble sauce. You got it. Good.
All right. So number one, brother. What's your name and what is it that you do?
Andrew Soto. I'm the owner and operator of Butters BBQ.
So, second question I had for you is, so obviously you make a big success. You're known for the barbecue. You've made your permanent mark in Mathis, Texas, brother. So it's hard to think of you and think that this man did anything else before barbecuing.
Yeah.
So my second question for you is, what did you do before all of this?
I worked in the oil and gas industry. I worked in the refineries out in Corpus. I was an operator, crude unit operator. We made jet fuel, diesel fuel, that type of thing. We did shift work. I did that for about 4 years, and then a little over halfway through, I switched to a different company, started working more in the lab, and that's when I started to get the barbecue itch, so to say. So yeah, I did the oil and gas industry.
Your Butters' mom, right?
Sure am.
Okay.
Sometimes.
Sometimes, okay.
Hi, this is Francis. Here I am making the mac and cheese.
Alright, what do you do out here, Miss Francis?
I do a lot of shit. I do a lot of stuff. I do all the sides. Get up early, come to Butters, make all this good stuff, the mac and cheese, the chicken and rice, the beans, the pasta, and the salad. Pico de gallo, cut the lemons, make blue tea on the coffee pot. That's about it. And you clean the mess afterwards. A lot of customers ask me, is that his real name Butter? And I tell them no. When he was born at 8 months and he weighed 902. So then when we brought him home, we stopped at my mom's house and my baby brother said, stop by here sis, so I can see the baby. I said, okay. So when we got there, he said, oh my God. He goes, this is like a butterball turkey that just came out of the oven. This got real chunky and real red. So he stayed there from butter after he came here until graduation.
How long has barbecuing been going on in the family?
Too long. We're ready to retire. We used to go to the cook-offs when they were small. And it was maybe like 6 and Nally was maybe like 10. We would always go to the cook-offs and, I'll be out there making the tortillas, selling tacos and everything. It was fun. So that's how we learned.
List of the 25 best new barbecue joints has a global feel, but we haven't forgot about the brisket. And then that's our little article that we got in there. Next year is we've been in it 3 years now, this August. Next year, because year number 4 also happens to fall the next new top 50 rankings. So if we make that, there's going to be a whole new issue coming out, and we're going to have a big fucking push.
Alright, brother. Question number 3. What are your proudest moments through your success here at Butters BBQ?
There's a few, but I guess the top one would be the accolade we received from Texas Monthly Magazine, which was we made it was a list of the top 25 new barbecue restaurants in the state, and we happened to make that same list with some really talented and well-known pitmasters and cooks throughout the state who had other restaurants previously, success. So here's a list of these new great, places, and then the little Butters just made the list on there. It's an honor, and it's definitely the proudest moment thus far. We have a lot more to do, I feel, but that's been one of the key moments. What led all to that was when Daniel Bond came, the writer and editor of Texas Monthly, the guy that placed us on the list, the guy who came to eat our food. He showed up randomly through different sources, I guess through the barbecue game, and telling him like, hey, you need to go try this place out. It's in South Texas, in Mathis. So it took him we came in. It took him a little over a year to get here after I think it was like 16-month mark, year and a half mark maybe. 18 months. He came and that was just completely by surprise, random day. Called our food great, and that day, once you have that sort of, validation, that's when it really kind of sets in for you. It kind of becomes a reality, like, oh man, like, yeah, the food is good enough. Everything that you've been worrying about, if it's good or bad, you know what I mean?
Especially from that person.
Yeah, exactly. It gives you a little bit of room to breathe. You got all the weight on your shoulders of trying to not only start. I mean, when we first started, it was rough because you don't have no name for yourself. You're just trying to get people to try you out. You know what I mean? To spread the word. Word of mouth's the biggest contribution towards, I think, any type of success.
Like big talk. Huh?
Yeah, exactly. Somebody likes it, they're going to tell somebody about it. You know what I mean? If you try something that that you really like, what are you gonna like? You're gonna tell somebody, like, dude, you gotta try this new restaurant that I found.
Want the whole road to know.
Yeah, exactly. So he heard. He told me he lives in Dallas. He told me directly. He made the trip specifically for this place. He made other stops. There's tons of barbecue places in Texas. You know what I mean? There's not a dozen. So that's his job. He eats barbecue and he critiques it. So that's, what a job, right?
He came out here.
Yeah, he came straight out here. He came out here, sat down, table back there. I was inside a nervous wreck, not knowing. I knew who he was. You read about people like that. You know what I mean? So you wonder and you also you wait. You sit patiently. And you're like, yeah, he'll show up. It's barbecue. You know what I mean? So anyways, he showed up.
And it was nothing but good things.
Yeah, no, ever since he came and sat here and ate the food, what he said, what he's written, has just helped contribute to all this, and it also pushed us, because he didn't write everything, great. He compared our meats, they're great. Then I think he critiqued the rice or something like that, which is a side. But I like that, because he was honest, so it gives us room to improve furthermore. So I can't wait for him to come back to see you can see the improvements that I feel, I know that we've made.
Falls apart, another real good flavor. There's a lot of moisture to it. Try his brisket. Has good smoke ring to it. Falls apart. Again, it has awesome flavor to it. It's not dry. Don't even need barbecue sauce with it, man. It tastes good. The rice tastes awesome too. It tastes like that's how my grandma would make it. It tastes good.
That's a home touch right there, huh?
Yeah. Hit home right there with the rice. Pretty much the best that I've tried here in Atlas. I'm originally from here. I was born and raised. It's pretty awesome. I'd say it blows the competition out of the water.
So this is our article, the first one that was written, the only one so far. Like I mentioned, the new one's coming out pretty soon. Look out for that. But this is the one that dropped, and I forgot exactly when it dropped. I think it was 2019. Yeah, it was last year, sometime in May. But we got a spot, so it's Texas Monthly magazine, and they titled it the new barbecue. I talked to Vaughn about it. This was kind of like embracing the whole new style. It was kind of a new wave of barbecue happening around the state, and it incorporated a bunch of not only traditional but new age type fusions with different styles of food, not only barbecue but like Asian cuisine, Mexican type cuisine mixed in with the barbecue. So that's why they titled it that. So this was our article that we got listed, and it's over here. So our 2019 list of the 25 new best barbecue joints has a global feel, but we haven't forgot about the brisket, you know, by Daniel Boone. So that goes back to the whole stay traditional, but it's also branching out a little bit. We fell under the traditional standpoint, but there's a lot of other restaurants that, you know, they're a little more non-traditional. I like to stick to traditional, specifically because it's newer around here. Stick to the basics before you kind of get crazy. That way people can kind of know exactly what, you know, this Central Texas style barbecue is. I'll read it out. It's Buttered BBQ Mathis, opened 2017. Pitmaster Andrew Soto, Robert Rodriguez. The pro tip is barbacoa, smoked with beef cheeks, smoked with oak and some mesquite is available on Saturdays and Sundays. Try it with their house-made salsa. It says, Butters is so inexpensive that when I stopped in, I urged Soto to raise his prices. He started it like that because we were really cheap at the time, and that goes back to when we were, you know, the money wasn't adding up. We were cheap because of the products we were using were the same products that's all around the top spots of Texas, which is Angus Gray, prime brisket, all natural pork spare ribs, our sausages, this homemade. So yeah, so at the time we were so cheap, you know what I mean? We were selling our brisket at like 16 or 17 bucks a pound, which is $3 to $5 under the suggested range. So we were losing money selling his brisket. So he you know, let me know that he's not only, you know, a food critic, but he'll also tell, you know what I mean, he's a restaurant critic. He helps people out. He told me, like, you got to raise your prices, you know what I mean? Anyway, so we'll go back to that. So butter is so expensive that when I stopped in, I heard Sultan raise his prices. I want him to stay in business so that I can keep coming back for that decadently fatty brisket and beef and pork sausages wrapped in flour tortillas made by his mother. Monster pork spare ribs coated in black pepper and tender, juicy turkey slices also impress. He's selling enough of the stuff to add a new screened-in dining area. So that was before we had this area that we're in at the moment. We only had these 4 tables up front. We sat on that table, more specifically.
The one in the back?
Yeah, and he only knew about the patio because I had posted it on social media like 2 weeks after, and that we were updating. So he contacted me and asked me about it, and I told him, yeah, this is what's happening. So he added that little niche on the article, and then it had our hours of operation. And
so they said nothing but good things, of course.
Yeah. So this is it right here, man. This is what we got to come with the 3 years here, and this is just a small smidgen of what we do. This is the only thing people see. What goes on behind, you know, those walls over there in that little kitchen, so to say. There's a lot of work. We're running around in there, and, you know, kicking with our heads cut off, trying to get orders out, trying to make sure we're not messing things up, and just trying to keep people happy and get them out of here in a timely manner with what we feel is the best barbecue that we can make. It may not be the best, but it's the best that we can do.
It's getting there.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and everybody who's been a part of it, my mom, my brother, Robert, who's our morning time pitmaster. Robert is, you know, one of the best pitmasters in Texas, and I don't know if he knows that quite yet, but he does such a great job in keeping everything consistent, and it helps me, you know, sleep better knowing that when I'm not here, he's doing the right job. So when I come here and get ready for service, get ready to cut and slice everything up for these fine folks in Mathis and everywhere else, I know that what I have passed on to him translated well enough, or, you know, even better, you know what I mean? So yeah, it just helps everything out. Yes.
So what's your name? What is it that you do?
My name's Robert Rodriguez. I'm the pit master here at Butters BBQ. I've been doing this for going on 3 years, pretty much, and, you know, I pretty much do this every damn day.
Oh, wow.
Pretty damn close, and I got all this cooking.
It almost took you.
Yeah. Got pork bellies right here. We do those on the weekends, and all these ribs, I had them on about 4:30. Woke up about 4:30 in the morning. Yeah, it gets pretty hot in here. It's smoking. When I first started doing this, I couldn't stand it. I'll just walk out here just like you did. I'll take off. I couldn't stand it. I'll barely even be able to sauce a couple of ribs. Now, you know, I'm pretty much used to it. I can just stand in here with the doors open. It's just something that I get used to, I guess. It's real hot in here. Usually, throughout after 12 o'clock, it'll get pretty damn hot in here, and it gets like over 110 sometimes in here. It's like blazing hot. Lose a lot of weight in here.
You know anything about barbecue before you started any of this?
I knew nothing about barbecue. I've never barbecued in my entire life. You know, everything that I know now is because, you know, Andrew taught me everything. You know, Butter, he taught me everything I know to this day. So that's where I learned everything from, is from him. Right here, now would be max capacity. And if today wasn't Sunday, I would have this one full and the green pit full. But since tomorrow we're going to be closed, we don't have to cook for tomorrow. But usually I would have both pits full.
Full to the max?
Yeah, so I fill up this one in the morning, and throughout the morning I fill up the green one, so I fill up both of them.
Y'all guys sell out, huh?
Yeah, we sell a lot every day.
Dude, that's wild now, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's go take a look at that meat, huh?
I threw these on about 8:30 in the morning today.
Today?
Yeah. I fill up the small pit at 4 o'clock in the morning. I start filling up this one about 7:30, and it's full about 8:30. I fill it up. This is barbacoa, beef cheek, and I got pork butts in the back, and nothing but briskets all right here. So I, you know, trim each one separately, one by one, season them all separately.
That's amazing, bro.
Yeah.
So you got a job.
Yeah. I was out here last night trimming these briskets, actually. I was out here last night, about 10 o'clock last night, before I go home and go to bed. I'll come and trim them just so I have them ready. And then when I get here, I just have to season them, because it does take a long time. It all started whenever I met his sister. So from there, we had been together for a couple of years already. And he decided he was going to start up the business. And so he wanted to keep it like in the family, so he, you know, and I knew nothing about barbecue, so at that point, you know, that's who he wanted, was somebody that has no experience in barbecue whatsoever. So then, you know, I started, whenever they started this up, he started training me and teaching me everything, and soon enough I started doing everything on my own, cooking, showing up in the morning, and then he'll show up, you know, later on and come cut up meat and stuff. But that's pretty much.
Now you're a pit master, eh?
Yeah, now, you know, 3 years later, you know, I'm still here, still doing it. And
amazing.
yeah, this is pretty much, I guess, I would say a dream job, you know. This is everybody, you know, who wouldn't love to be barbecuing?
All day, every day.
Yeah. It's a lot of fun, and then there's times, you know, I take off home too, and I even barbecue at the house too. You know, I just fell in love with it, and I'm glad he picked me to be the pit master.
Right, good stuff, dude. So, question number 4. So how did all of this start? Like, what actually pushed you to open up your very own restaurant?
Yeah, it was a lot of things, man. I grew up around it. My dad was always cooking, barbecuing. He did catering, he did cook-offs. He was kind of well known for his brisket, barbecue in general, but he just had a killer brisket, like top of the line. He won all the competitions, Buck Days. He was grand champion, first place brisket, first place chicken. So that naturally just, you know, it took my interest. You know, and you want to be like that, you know. So, I fell in love with cooking. I fell in love with the barbecue side of it, and that was just something I would do. I would watch him do. He would teach me. You know, he wouldn't show me like, you know, little exact things for things how he do it, but I picked up on it. You know, he he taught me without teaching me. You know, he trusted me enough to help him and do these things, check the fire frame. So I learned a lot about, you know, how the basics of cooking and how to control fire, which is a lot part of it. It's basic, you know, it's just like anything. And then as I got older, 17 or I think I was 18. Yeah, I moved out of the house 18. I had my apartment in Corpus. I bought my first little grill from Academy. I think it was like $35.
Small little
Yeah,
thing.
but they loved it, and what they loved more about it, more so than the food itself, was everything that comes with it. The hanging out, beer, and talking with friends, and there's a good quote that says, "You don't have fun around an oven." It's just that when you cook inside, it's just not as fun as cooking outside. You know, cooking with the fire and cooking with wood. Yeah, it's fun. Even when the food's not even that good, it's still pretty good because it's smoky meat. And I kind of fell in love with that aspect of it, with the togetherness, the bringing people and hanging out and having fun. And I just started doing it more and more. And that grill, it didn't last very long. I think that was the one I had at the apartment. When we moved out, my dad had my first pit made, like a real one. He got it from a guy, Mathis Sandoval. Made me a pit. My dad bought it for me, and made my first brisket. Same thing. I thought it was good. It was terrible looking back, but it was just, I was learning. And same thing. I would have people over almost every weekend, every other weekend. And you know, butter was cooking. We were making something. And we were hanging out. We were watching boxing fights or NFL, whatever it was. I made an excuse to cook, and then over the years, you know, we started doing cook-offs, and I had a little fun with that, not as much. And then that's when I heard of Franklin Barbecue, which is at the time the #1 spot in Texas for barbecue. My buddy, I was working at the plant. I must have been maybe 21 or 22 at the time. Ray told me about it. Hey, have you tried Frank? We were just talking about barbecue, as men do. You know, we're talking about food, sport. You know, we were talking about barbecue. And he goes, "You got to try Frank Barbecue in Austin." And I'm like, I hadn't really been to Austin much. You know, I've been there a couple of times as a kid, but never really went as an adult. You know, so I was 21, and I told him, what's that? It's Franklin Barbecue. And he said,
What's up, man?
"Hey, what's up, bro?"
What's up, bud?
What up?
You wanna come sit down?
Get over here and get out the damn house, man.
Yeah? Come out here to eat?
Yeah, better get out the house, man.
What we got going on over here?
Nothing, man. Just came to get something to eat. I came out here about 8 o'clock in the morning, you know, to come get the brisket started and everything, get them wrapped up.
That's what's up, dude.
I did that early in the morning, you know, got everything wrapped up.
That's awesome, man. That's awesome.
Yeah, and then after that, you know, I took off about 2:30 in the afternoon, headed out, got out of here, and then I think Andrew's brother came over here.
Yeah, they're almost done.
All right. So what we got going on in here?
This is the first pit that we had made. We bought the trailer from my cousin Mondo. It was just a normal utility trailer. We bought the can off of Craigslist, and we bought the other, you know, cans off of Craigslist. We bought the piping off of the shops in Corpus, and then
Dude, this is a big pit.
yeah, this is the one we started with. This.
You have a name for her?
Unity.
Unity.
From Rick and Morty.
Oh man, we were just totally watching that before we came in.
Yeah, that one's the Green Bastard. You ever seen Trailer Park Boys?
I've seen. Okay, I saw like the first season. Okay, yeah, bro, I got you, dude. I'll watch it.
That's the Green Bastard.
The Green Bastard.
The Green Bastard.
Damn.
Had that one made once we started getting busier, because just to keep up with production. If we were to use this pit on a Saturday, on a Sunday, we would sell out at 2 o'clock. We don't have enough. We can't. You know what I mean? Because start to pile up briskets in here. It looks big, but once you start to fill it up, man, it takes up a lot of space.
Can't wait to get some good footage here. So, we're talking about this restaurant in San Antonio. We're trying to go out. I'm sorry. In Austin. I apologize. So you go out to this restaurant, or what
Yeah,
happened?
I was 21, me and Isaiah. I was 22, I was 22. Yeah, it took a while to get out there, and me and my buddy, man, we decided to try it out. So I'd already read up on it, tons of videos, YouTube, tons of articles. articles, whatnot. You just kind of do your research. Because what he told me was that they have a wait. You know, he told me you got to go early because the wait is so many hours. I'm just like, hours? You know, you waited at a restaurant before, right?
Yeah.
What's an hour?
You're not gonna wait no hour.
Yeah. On Valentine's Day, right? That hour and a half, right? It's tolerable,
Even at
right?
that,
Yeah. We waited 5 hours in line. Yeah.
5 hours.
5 hours. From 8 to 1. That's what time we ate. They open at 11, but there was already people ahead of us. We leave Mathis at 5. We get to Austin. I think we stopped once just for a restroom break. I think we get to Austin about 8:15, and then we get there about 8:20 to the beach. It's right there as soon as you get into Austin, people are still coming by. They come by all the time.
Yeah, I can see that.
So then there's already a line of, I think there was about maybe 60, 80 people ahead of us, maybe more. So we expected that already. I knew it was just something we were waiting to see and look at. So I was like, oh, there it is. There's a line when it's going to pass the bus because you have to go right by it before you can park. And just as soon as we got off the car, I mean, we already hear people. The culture over there is kind of different. It's a party city. It's Austin, right?
Yeah,
So,
people are just hyped up.
yeah, exactly. So then you got all these people, they're piling up in line. I think the people in front of us were from Korea. They were from everywhere. All around the world, you'll never know.
Try this food?
Yeah, everywhere. You know, I mean, there's, on a given day, it's 400 people there every day. So, I mean, they're from everywhere, not only Austin. Probably, I would go out on a limb and say less than half were from Austin. The rest are surrounding cities, tourists.
You mentioned it was a small restaurant though.
Yeah, it's tiny. It's not, I mean, it's the biggest thing about it is this pit room in the kitchen. But as far as the dining spaces, they have inside probably about 9, 10 tables, maybe 10 or 12 tables, and then they have maybe 6 or 8 outside. But it was weird because, you know, we were waiting in line and the tables, they don't stay full. I mean, people like shuffling in and out. The line, it rotates really well, the tables. So even though the tables were full while we were still in line, like we still found spots to sit, you know, because by the time we were getting there, people were in all and out, and they're quick, you know, they have a great staff. Anyway, so we got there and we were already salivating at the mouth. We decided we weren't going to eat breakfast, and we were like, we're just gonna pull through. We went straight to Austin, and the people in front of us offered us donuts, and everybody started drinking it at 9 a.m. You know, yeah, it's 9 a.m. rolls around, ice stuff start popping open. You hear champagne popping, mimosas, orange juice, champagne. It was just super fucking cool. You know, to see all this.
In line.
Yeah, in line. Chairs, people were playing Uno, cards, reading books, radios, music, you name it. It was just like a tailgate while we waited for this food. And the whole time you could smell it because the pits are right there, and it smells otherworldly. You know, it was different for me because I never smelled that type of wood. We're from the south, we use mesquite, right? This was oak. It was different. It was just.
Yeah, we don't hear much about anything else other than mesquite.
Yeah, other than mesquite. Yeah, nothing wrong with it. It's good. It's just a little heavy. This the oak it's milder, but I just wasn't used to the smell. I was like, I smell smoke.
It smells good.
It smells good. I could smell the beef. I could smell the
different.
But it's, yeah, and I'm like, okay. And the expectations were just because you read about it. You see, you know, you see he's in movies. He's in TV shows on Netflix, and you see the restaurant. You know the name, and they call it the Texas Butler called it the best brisket in the known universe. That's what they called it. So you kind of have these expectations, and you ask yourself 2 questions: like, are they going to be met? Or are they gonna fall short? Because that's only 2, you know what I mean? Like, and there was a 3rd option that I didn't even foresee, and that's what it exceeded every single fucking expectation that I thought was possible. What I first noticed is the brisket was black, but it had this glimmer, and that's what that bark is. You know what I mean? Like, you know, ours is that bark, crunchy black. It looks burnt, but it's delicious.
That stuff you just want to dive into the picture when you sit on Facebook.
Eating it by itself is harsh, but when you eat it with the meat, it just complements. I mean, it's perfect. I took a bite of that, and my mind was fucking blown. It was like me and Isaiah looked at each other. He ate a rib first, and I ate the brisket first. I told him Isaiah, I was like, you gotta. He's like, I tried this brisket. He's telling her, no, dude, you gotta try this rib. So I ate the whole fucking slice of brisket. He ate my dude. It was I'm salivating just because I think of that moment, dude. That moment where you sit there and you think about all these expectations. I read the books, I saw the videos, I saw interviews with Franklin, and because you know, and I'm like, is that good? And then you sit there, you wait in line hours, and you understand why.
I really gotta try it.
You gotta try it. You have to.
Going to.
Yeah. It's not gonna be. It's gonna be a little skewed because you've had ours. You know, I'm not saying it's not. I'm not saying ours is better because it's not. I think his is. You know, his. You got another sign.
You ever downloaded barbecue?
But you're gonna see like it's a notch above. You're gonna see why people are waiting. He's a perfect. But anyways, I had that epiphany. Got to the car. I told Isaiah. I looked at him. I told him, dude, I'm never gonna stop trying to make a brisket that good. I don't care how long it takes.
So that's how it happened.
I told him those words right there.
Just like that.
I don't know if you believe me or not. I talk a lot of shit.
No.
Yeah,
This
I
is
talk.
the story.
Yeah,
This
so
is
then,
what we're here
so
for.
then I came home and I was sold on the Central Texas style, the oak, prime grade brisket. I was like, that's the fucking truth. That's the way, truth, and the light. I'm gonna pursue that. I didn't think brisket could be cooked like that. I saw my dad doing it growing up, and he did it his style. This was a completely different style, different smoke, different cuts of meat, different atmosphere. You know what I mean? It was.
The whole new land.
Yeah, exactly. 300 miles away, different, people. So we munched, man. We tore it up, and then,
Harold and Kumar.
yeah, exactly. So we coming back, it was like, God, that was just like, we went straight to the source. There's so many restaurants in Texas, especially barbecue, specifically barbecue, and we went straight to the number one because I had to figure out, like, God, what the best was, if it's that good. I needed to see for myself, and every single question was answered, even the sides. Everything, you know what I mean? The service. I got to talk to him, everything like that. And after that, I set out and I started trying that same style, the post stoic and the prime briskets, and I started practicing. And then as the years went on, more and more, I started getting a little better at it. And that's when friends and family started just kind of throwing it out there. You should try to do this. Try and sell some stuff. You should do this, do that. And after you hear that, and along with practicing, simply for the love of it, I love the barbecue. Same thing we go back to. We were still having barbecues, hanging out, all this stuff. I had a smoker at the house, but it was nothing that a restaurant would be. It wouldn't be able to support that kind of service, no matter how small we were. It was just too small to fit. So I said, okay, we had to build. We had to get one built. I had enough money to buy all the parts, the tank, the trailer, which is that one back there now, the small one. And we had a welder throw it together for us based off some of the similar designs that a lot of the other restaurants in the Central Texas, Austin, region were using, still do. I think they're the best cookers. They're just basic offsets. They use wood and heat to cook the meat. You know what I mean? No plug, no wires, no lights, nothing. Just basic cooking. And then once we got it built, everything else just kind of started happening. We started buying equipment. We started buying a stove, pots, pans. But there's a lot of things that you just realize that you need. You don't realize that you need until
It comes to play.
yeah, until you need it. You know what I mean? That's all costs that I hadn't figured out because I've never had a restaurant. I've never opened up a restaurant. I've never had a business. Nothing like that. I just like to cook. So
I just like to cook.
I just like to cook, and cooking's the easiest part of it. If I could do only that, that would be the best thing. But this is how it works. There's other parts of the business you have to operate. Everything to. We only serve food for, I think, 4 hours a day, 5 hours sometimes, but there's 5 times that amount that goes into just serving for those 5 hours. There's all the hours of cooking, and there's all the hours of the sides, and then all the hours of prep work.
So it takes a lot of time. It's a lot of tedious stuff then.
Yeah, a lot of little things to make a plate. People come in and they get a plate. It's not just a plate we just whip together. No. This plate's been in the work for the past 20 hours. This plate's been cooking overnight while you were sleeping, getting up, having coffee.
Wow.
Yeah, you know what I mean? This is what this is right here. This is what we took our time cooking.
Not no 30-second microwavable.
Yeah, nothing.
No.
Nothing.
No.
This takes time and takes a lot of preparation. You know, so when people come here, they have those expectations, especially after getting put in the magazine and given that little that accolade, calling us one of the best restaurants in the state. 203 is what we shoot for. Look at that.
203, huh?
Oh, come on.
It was there. I saw it. It got on film.
There it is. Nice. These are done, bro. So these are done, but they're not done, if that makes sense. There's a resting process, a lengthy resting process that goes about. This adds to the juiciness. Oh, yeah, these are done. I'm sorry. You gotta kind of unwrap and then rewrap. Just tighten it up. Yeah, these are just little things that I've learned over the 2 years, and I'm all about consistency, right? What I do to this brisket is what I'm gonna do to that brisket. There's nothing, I leave none of them out. They all need to be treated the same because they all are the same, but you know what I mean? It's hard to cook 2 briskets in your life because they're not the same cut of meat. It's easy to cook a hamburger exactly the same because it's ground beef, it's made into a circle, you know what I mean?
It's all the same thing.
These aren't the same cows, these aren't the same meat, so each one of them is different. But we try to treat them and cook them all the same and push them to their target temperature. Wrap them all the same, trim them all the same, season them all the same. We try to get them as much alike as possible. I wouldn't pull all these if I didn't know they were done. And this is all back to experience. I didn't stick that one yet, right? But my experience and me doing this a long time, just by feeling it, picking it up, you know, I know it's done, and I can prove that to you with technology.
With technology.
You see what I'm saying? You just kind of trust it, and then you go to this one back here. Consistency. You know what I mean? They're all done. I wouldn't pull them if one was showing me it wouldn't done, and even if it was just one, I'll leave it in here and use more wood. You know, and I
Get it done.
I hate spending money on wood, but if it's not done, it's not done. If it's not done, I can't sell it. If it's not done, then it's not the brisket that Daniel Vaughn talked about in the magazine, and that made me a liar. Or make him a liar, you know what I mean? So that goes back to the expectation. You still recording?
Yeah.
I'll pull one out for you.
Not if you don't have to, bro. Honestly.
I know.
Yeah. Oh man.
That's something I've been working on right there for a long time, man. It looks good, so I know when it's going well because I had nothing to do with these briskets. This is the first time I'm touching them. I've been able to translate that to my employees, you know what I mean? That all comes back to my peace of mind. I can be away and I know things are going well here. As far as the cooking goes, see, it starts with a good trim. You see how it's nice and circular. It's got a nice even bark, we call that. See how it's kind of jelly-like, it's bending. That's how, I mean, it's as done as it's gonna get, you know what I mean? I call this the long nap, where we rewrap it and then we rest overnight. I call that the long nap. It actually, when meat's finished and when meat's hot, I know we saw like at 203, we can't eat it at that temperature. It's just way too hot. It's 200 degrees for Christ's sake, you know what I mean? There's a resting period. You ever heard the term rest your meat? You ever heard that?
No.
Yeah, so there's a rest period involved with all meats, especially beef. Meat is a muscle. I don't know if you knew that.
I do now.
It's a muscle. This is the breast of the cow. If you had to break it down. There's 2 of them per cow. There's 2 sides, right? This is the breast. So when beef is cooking, when the brisket's cooking at 200 degrees, those strands of meat, they're tight. They're super tight. You know what I mean? They're hot because that's what's happening. As you rest the meat, the moisture, the fat, the juice that gets redistributed through the meat. I mean, it's there, but it's just not in the meat quite yet. If you were to cut that brisket at 200 degrees while it was still hot and all the fibers and muscles were tight, it would be tough. It would be like jerky. You ever had somebody's brisket? It's because it wasn't rested. When after over a period of time, those meats, those fibers that are stuck together after the resting period, once that temperature drops, it starts to open back up, and that moisture starts to get redistributed even more so throughout the brisket. So that's why it rests. It's extremely important. At least 2 hours, but I mean, you can go for 8 hours, sometimes a little longer. You know, as long as you have a constant some sort of heat on it. But this just because they're done, they're not done. You know what I mean? There's still another process that goes about that happens behind the scenes, if you will. So yeah, once I started doing those cooks more and more for people in the backyard, saved. I saved up what I thought. Well, I had what I thought would be more than enough, and it was, you know, and it wasn't. After it was all said and done, I had enough for after the pit was built. After we did renovations inside, I bought the tables. We built the front, the patio. This wasn't here at first. We built this later, but that one, the refrigerators, you know what I mean, everything. I had a couple grand left, and that's what my first food order cost me. Yeah, cost me about $2,600.
That was the last of your savings?
After that, I think I had maybe a few $100 left. Yeah, nothing.
Yeah, that's scary.
That's it. Yeah.
You missed it.
Yeah, of course. I had no choice, dude. I had already decided. I had already had it in my mind that I gave myself a deadline, which was August 5th. I gave it to me 3 months prior. You'd be surprised how fast that shows up, you know, once you have to get shit done. And for like I mentioned earlier, the hardest part during those rough times, we weren't making any money. Negative. We were actually losing money. We were buying food and making less than what we, you know, yeah. So, I mean, there was zero money being made. We had, we were losing. We were losing straight up. We were losing the battle. You know what I mean? So I would wake up, with anxiety almost. I developed anxiety doing this. I never thought anxiety was real. You know what I mean?
You were, yeah.
I always hear about it. Oh, I had an anxiety attack. You know what I mean? But I've had an anxiety attack, and that shit is scary. You know what I mean? It's stress. It's everything that comes with it. It's pursuing your dreams. It's not all it's meant cut out to be. It's not all fucking sunshine and you know, great news and rainbows. It's equally bad, you know what I mean? You have to be, you gotta go through all those trials, you have to go through all those setbacks in order to move forward, you know what I mean? You have to understand what you're doing wrong, how to fix it, and during all that, you have to keep the faith, keep the hope, keep the vision, like maybe we'll make it out of this one day, maybe we'll make it. You know, for the longest part, it was like, hey, we're gonna fail. And then somebody asked me one day, well, like, dude, like, what if you don't fail? What if you actually make it? It's like, dude, how dare you ask me that? No, you know what I mean? Like, it was a little like, dude, you're right. What if we do make it? You know what I mean? So it's a battle within, dude. You know what I mean? It's hard to put into words. But just don't quit. I was showing up here when I didn't want to be here. You know what I mean? It was embarrassing.
I think that's.
It was. I mentioned like the quitting part. Like people say, quitting, failure, quitting not an option. Failure not an option.
You thought about quitting before?
Yeah, definitely, all the time, dude. I mean, it doesn't go away. You know what I mean? Because there's still bad days. You still have bad days. You don't hit your shell. You don't hit your mark, right? But you can't have good days without those bad days. You can't celebrate the success without the failures. Because it wouldn't be success without failures.
Yeah, find something you love.
Yeah, find something you love and just keep pursuing it, and something's gonna give eventually. If you're in it, like you say you want to be in it, and you say you want to do it, you're gonna do whatever it takes. You're gonna do what you got to do. I sold my house. I did what I had to do to keep this business alive, and everything that I've come up with so far, little by little, is coming to fruition. You know what I mean? And that's both great and scary at the same time, because now it's like, what do? there's big decisions that need to be made in the future, and each one of those is all in. Hey, you're all in. It's all in. It's all in. So you're gonna hit big, you're gonna lose big. You're gonna hit big, you're gonna lose big. So the one thing that always sticks with me, like people tell you, like failure is not an option. Like yes, it is. Quitting is an option. Failure is the easiest option. There was times I just wanted to quit, go home. You know what I mean? And that would have been the easiest thing to do. Mentally as well, because I wouldn't have had to cared about it. You know what I mean? It's like, dude, I don't have to worry about people bitching at me. I don't have to worry about making this good enough anymore. I could just not have to. I just go home. But it's like, nope, I don't want to. There was too many people said I couldn't do it. I'm trying to prove something not only to myself but to everybody who didn't believe. You know what I mean? And yeah, man, it's. I put my head down. I put my fucking head down, and I got after it. And I said, I'm gonna give it everything I got. And if it fails, it's not because it would be a lack of, work ethic. I'm committed. Like, I'm all in. I'm all in, man. Straight up. So people say like, failure is not an option, quitting not an option. It is. It's the most readily option available. But it's at that point what separates success from failure. You're either gonna crack or you're gonna push forward. You're either gonna fold or you're gonna let all the pressure, instead of crushing you, you're gonna let it turn you into a diamond, man. You gotta just push through it, and you gotta see the other side of it. Because on the other side of it, there could be exactly what you wanted, but you'll never know unless you get there. You know what I mean?
You tried, like you said before. I didn't want to go without. At least I can have it on my mind that I did it.
I had the legs under me. Literally and physically. I have the legs under me because I'm not. I mean, I was 25 when I'm 28 now, and I said I'm young. I have energy. You know, this is intense. This is intensive work, man. Carrying those briskets, they're not light. Going to that pit room when inside, it's 120 in there. Sometimes I'm in there for more than half an hour wrapping briskets. Yeah, you can't go in there with less than 2 bottles of water because you'll fucking pass out. We got the best customers, man. That they keep coming back. I make all this food. If you see the videos and shit, the pit's full. You have to sell that, because if you don't sell that, what do you do with it? We don't serve leftovers. They don't keep as good. They don't taste as good. So I make all this food and I go to bed and I'm like, damn, dude, what if we don't sell this? I just wasted $1,500-$1,800 on all this meat, and I might not sell it all. I might not even make it. And it's just, we start. Sometimes we hit the ground running. We get in there, fucking people just buy it. And sometimes it takes a while, but oftentimes we sell it, dude. But I'm still here. I'm still in the middle of the battle. This is nowhere near where I'm trying to be. So this is, like I mentioned, the trials that I went through. This is part of these trials that I'm trying to get me where I need to go. You know what I mean? This is 50%. I'm almost there. 50%. I'm almost there, but I'm a hell of a lot closer than I used to. That's for damn sure. And tomorrow I'll be a lot closer as well. You know what I mean? What helps me sleep at night is, what can I do today to help me sleep better tonight? It's not like, oh man, I got shit to pay 2 weeks from now. You don't worry about stuff like that because you can't control stuff like that. What you can control though is what you do right now, today. Like, everybody has problems on their mind. You have problems on your mind right now, right? You have problems on your mind right now, right? Everybody does. Right?
Yeah.
Big or small? Big or small?
Small, big, yeah.
Right, yeah.
I can actually think of a couple.
So instead of thinking, what can I do to fix all this? Simplify it. Say, what can I do today to help myself sleep better tonight? What can I do in the morning? Little baby steps. And it's not gonna happen overnight. It's taken me 3 years to get this far. It doesn't sound like a long time, but it's over. It's 1,000 days almost. That's a long time. I've been supporting myself, my kids, some family, with my hobby. You know what I mean? I left Baker Hughes. You know what I mean? Like, I left that job. I was making $25 an hour. 5 days a week, weekends off, benefits, health insurance, vacation, everything. 401k retirement. It wasn't fun. It wasn't interesting. I took what I made there, fucking threw it into this, and said, screw it, let's go for it. Now, I cannot picture myself going back to work. And when I say work, I mean, it's not outside of this. It was crunch time. We had the pit built. It's like I was running around with the city trying to get my permits, health department trying to get approval so we can open up. Got to get with the state so we could, be able to operate business. Got to get your tax ID. everything. There's certain steps you have to take in order to be a function. You can't just pop up like, I'm gonna do business one day. Nope, it's not how it works. You have to go through the right chain of command. So anyways,
Approvals.
yeah, exactly. I remember when I made the Butters BBQ Facebook page. You see it all the time, right? All the pictures and
Very successful.
followed. Yeah, we got 8,000 followers now.
awesome.
Yeah, I remember the first day. The first night I put it out. You know, we have friends, we have supporters, right? We got lots and lots of supporters in the beginning. And
Well, you mentioned that you love your town.
yeah, exactly.
I went to school with you, and I remember you just being a very Baptist pride person.
Yeah, man. I'm from here. My kids are from here. My family's from here.
Your business is here.
My business is here, and that's also part of my. You know what I mean? Like, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it here. You know what I mean? That nobody else, no other city deserves us besides us. When I first sat at Franklin and I had that euphoria moment, one of my first thoughts is like, man, I want to take this back. I want to take some back to my dad, and that goes back to that whole sharing, that whole mindset of barbecue. Something you want to do with other people. And I told Isaiah, I told him in the car. We sat there, and I told him, I was like, we're sitting there, bloated belly, full as hell, just, you know, mouthgasm, whatever you want to call it. We didn't even want to drive. We had a 3-hour drive back. You know what I mean? So
He was tired,
I just told him, like, man, I am never gonna stop trying to cook a brisket like that. You know what I mean? And I'm not saying I'm there yet, but I'm really, really a hell of a lot closer than I used to be. So then August 5th rolls around. August 5th, 17, and I put a post out on Facebook. I remember making the page like a couple months prior to that. I think we had like 200 followers. I was so excited. Dude, 200 people liked this page. You know, it's cool. So I didn't even post it in the paper that we were opening up. I literally just put on Facebook, hey, August 5th, we're gonna be open. That's it. And then after that, man,
Ambush.
you got ambushed. On the first day, people showed up, dude. And
Supported.
yes, we were out of here by 3 o'clock, which is like, if we did that, like, it was crazy, dude. Looking back on it now, man, I don't know how we did it. It was just pure will. It was just fake it till you make it. You ever hear that term? Fake it till you make it. I had my family looking at me frantic that day, and I'm just like, you know, you're caught in the crossfire and everything. And it was an experience, man. And then everything after that, it's been learning and getting better at certain things and adjusting to the business. I'm doing what Butters is telling me. I'm doing what the business is telling me. I'm selling this so much because it sells that much. I'm selling X amount of this because, you know what I mean? Throughout the 3 years in our time, almost 3 years in our time here, there hasn't been a lot we haven't gone through. I'll tell you that. And all that is.
But did you just like quit your job, or how did you?
So that, yeah, I never got to that. Really. So yeah, once we had everything built, I mean, I had already told my boss what was happening. I told him I'm gonna try this restaurant thing out. I didn't say like I'm gonna quit. You know, I had no idea. I had no idea. It was just I knew I wanted to cook. I knew I wanted to barbecue. I knew I wanted to have a business. But I also had a job in corporate. I was making damn good money. And more, you know, I had everything I wanted. I had the weekends off. I had great pay, benefits, health insurance, my kids, so I had to do for everything. Everything you could, you know, do. I could have retired. Once you get that idea in your head, you know what I mean?
It's hard to let go.
It's hard to eradicate. It's hard to let go. It's just like, man, you can't sleep at night. It keeps you up. It makes you nervous. It gets you hyped. The same thing you talk about. You get
Inspired.
Yeah, you get this random inspiration and motivation at 2 in the morning. You want to run through a fucking wall. You know what I mean? You just get pumped, right? But there's only so much you can do. I took it day by day. I did what I felt was right at the time, and we opened up August 5th. I put in for my vacation. I had 2 weeks. I didn't use no vacation that year. 2 weeks after that, was 2 weeks. After that, I don't know what I'm gonna do because we were open Wednesday through Sunday at the time. So that means I would have been working Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. There was conflicting schedules. Right? Nobody knew how to cut me like I could. Nobody knew how to cook me like I could. It was still early on. So I had to be 2 places at once, and I couldn't. I had to make a choice.
Wow.
We had made some money back, so we were doing okay. and it was just, I sat with family, I sat with my dad, I told him, what do you think I should do? And he told me, he's one of the more conservative guys I know. He's like, he at the time, he gave me the same answer. He was just kind of like, I don't know, it's hard to leave that job. You might not find a job like that again. What happens if the business fails? What are you gonna do for money? You're gonna fall behind on child support, your bills, your mortgage, your way of life, everything. I mean, it could have been gone. It could have been in an instant. You know what I mean? I didn't have much money, and with a failing business, without making any money, it goes faster than you think. So I talked to Tony and my boss at the time. I sat in there with him, and he already knew what this conversation was going to be about, just because I was shaking. I was like, I'm really about to do this. You know what I mean? Like, I've been there at that plant 7 years since I was 19. You know what I mean? I was at 18. I started butters when I was 25. Yeah. So it was my only real job, and it happened to be a good one. I was very fortunate to land that kind of job right outside of high school. I told him, this is my 2-week notice. I'm gonna be, if you'll honor it, this will be my last day. Oh. Yeah. He told me that, and he looked me in the eye. He's like, man, is there anything I can do to stop you? And I told him no. I told him, I don't think there's an amount of money you could probably give me unless it's double that might make me stay. I was joking, but I had that idea, dude. Even if he would have offered me some ridiculous amount, I still would have probably thought about it. But I was almost, it was to the point where this was already happening. I was at work, and the only thing I could think about was this. And that's not good, because it's a refinery industry. It's dangerous. You got to be in it out there to get hurt. And I told him, look, I just don't feel.
So you're at Sarah's thinking about Kathy.
Exactly, pretty much. And I just told him, look, I'm a liability at this point. My head's not in it. My heart's out there. That's what I want to do. If I fail, that's on me. But I need to learn for myself. I need to figure this out myself. And they honored my 2 weeks. They said okay, and shook my hand. I walked out of the plant, gave her my badge, and that was it. There was no more 2 weeks later. This is the deposit. Nope, it's on you now. It's on you to make this house payment. It's on you to feed your kids. It's on you to pay the light. You know what I mean?
The weight that was on your shoulders.
Yes, dude, everything. I couldn't even explain to you what that did to me. It created anxiety, it created stress, it created, and this was very early on, so we still had, we were new. Nobody knew about us except friends. So now I'm out here, no job. You know, month in and things are going, 2 months in, things are going bad. You know what I mean? Just inexperience.
And that's scary.
Inexperience. It was wintertime. I didn't know it was going to cut production by more than half. You know what I mean? I didn't know sales were going to be cut in half. I didn't know there was going to be a lot of foot traffic. All this was mud around here. We didn't have gravel. I don't know if you remember that. This was all mud. So when it rained, it was mud. People wouldn't even come. And I was completely embarrassed. And I called him up and I told him, man, might need a job here pretty soon, Tony. You know, there's something you can do for me. He texted me, he's like, maybe not at the moment, but I can work on something. It was late December. Hadn't had any good weeks, days really. Sales were down, rent was due. We were short. You know what I mean? We were short on everything. Bills were behind. But the one you gotta pay rent, right? Because you gotta be here in order to. So we were just sitting there, and some people roll up inside. It's raining. You know what I mean? And
a miracle.
yeah, they said, hey, we had a family member pass away yesterday. Oh, no. Yeah, we need a lot of food. I made my rent by selling these people the food that I had because of their family passing away. You know what I mean? And I don't know if I ever saw those people again. You know what I mean? They just came in randomly. I'd never seen them before. Said, we need this food. Here's I think it was like $400 or something. It's a big tab. You know what I mean? I'd never had a tab that big. And I made the rent.
That's awesome.
I think it was the next month or January. Yeah, February started to do good, and then 18 was kind of like a up and down year. We had some good months and we had some real bad months. You know, just adjustments. And right at the end of 18, we were kind of skipping along, dragging along. We're making money, but we weren't losing it either. You know what I mean? Daniel Bond shows up. Texas Monthly shows up. And that's when it all just kind of like...
Started booming?
Oh, yeah, we saw effects of it the next day.
Wow, really?
Yeah, the next day. People were like, hey, we saw the Texas Monthly article online. I don't know, Texas Monthly is a really incredible magazine. I mean, it's Texas, right? They've been in the magazine business for a long time, news source. Ever since then, it's we have people coming in from all over the place, dude. Most of our business, I'd say 65 to 75% of it is people from not even from Mathis. They come in on the weekends. Hey, and it's always we heard from so and so, or we saw in Texas Monthly, or we saw in the news because the news did a story on us. Chris Six, and even to this day, almost 3 years later, we still get new customers, and I treat them all the same. You know what I mean? I try and treat them all as if they were still coming to my backyard that one time. You know what I mean? This is my home away from
Your backyard.
Yeah, exactly. This is a barbecue. This isn't a restaurant. This is a barbecue. We come here, we cook, we serve. We don't have waiters. We don't have these fancy etiquette. We got 5-star food in the form of plastic forks and napkins and paper as plates. You know what I mean? This is how we do it here. Yeah, Texas, man. And believe it or not, that style, it allows people to kind of lay comfortably. Comfortably. You can come here in flip-flops and a tank top.
Right.
Yeah, exactly. I got fans up, and this is outside, man. This is the way barbecue as it should be. Eventually, we're gonna have a restaurant. I want to look back on this one day. I want to look back on this one day. You fucker, look me in the eyes. You're gonna do it.
You tell it.
Yeah, one day, man, you're gonna have the best fucking restaurant Mathis has ever seen. Promise you, it's gonna happen.
It will happen.
It will. For now, this is what we got to deal with, and until I can save enough, invest enough, this is what we're gonna do. It's different. This is different. You know what I mean? There's not a lot of shacks with a few picnic tables on it, with a few metal chairs and stools, and serving up the kind of food that we serve. I say that confidently, not cocky. Yeah. So when they come here, there's people that come here knowing that, and then there's people who come here. They kind of like, is this Butters? Is this the crazy, amazing barbecue place that everybody talks about? And they look around, they're like, but then they trust it, and they sit down, and those are the people that I enjoy the most, because that was me at one point. Going to Austin. It was that word of mouth that I go back to. It's like, man, the Ray told me I gotta go and try it myself.
And with you saying that, makes me want to go try that.
Yeah, exactly. And now people are hearing that about Butters. Isn't that fucking crazy?
That's amazing.
It's crazy, dude. It's crazy how it came into a circle, dude. And it's just like, I get people that come, hey, we heard about you. I'm like, really? Like, it's fucking cool. You know what I mean? Like, that's awesome, man.
What's the furthest person you've heard from? Like, I'm from
El Paso.
El Paso?
The guy came in from Dallas on his motorcycle.
Really?
He called me up. Yeah, it was like 4 in the morning. He's like, hey, you're open today, right? Yeah, he's like, I'm headed that way. Showed up about 12 or 1. Ate like $50 worth of food. Finished it. I rode off into the sunset.
Right.
Yeah, he just took right off. He's like, he was retired. He's like, that's what I do. He's like, that's what I do. I like finding these spots exactly like this, and I'm so glad I came, because it's exactly what I was hoping it would be. You know what I mean? Think about that. He passed up literally thousands of restaurants on his way to here.
To this restaurant?
Yeah, to this one. That started as an idea in a 19-year-old's head. You know what I mean? It's crazy, dude. It's crazy that we've been able to do it. It goes against all odds. You know what I mean? It goes against. I think I read in like small businesses, somewhat of more than half, 60, more than they fail within their first year. And that's understandable, because this is tough, dude. If you have the balls to go in and do, if you have the guts, the courage, the commitment to go and do something like that, and I didn't see it that way from you, because you just don't see it from yourself. You set a goal and you have an expectation, and you just go forward with it. I don't know what other people saw. I don't. You know what I mean? I know people laughed. I know we got criticized. I know people asked why they were opening up. We already have barbecue. Why do we need another one? If I got that, when we first opened up, people tried our food. It sucks. Small is better. And you know what? And it probably wasn't that good compared to what it is today, but it was mine and it was honest. And that's what I had to offer at the time. That took a toll on me up here. You know what I mean? This was all before Texas Monthly. It had me questioning, are you good enough? Did you make a mistake? Should you have kept your job? All these decisions were already behind me. You know what I mean? Like it was put up or that's it, dude. I couldn't even think about what the fuck I was gonna do, and I couldn't even think about I'm not gonna have a job. You know what I mean? Like I have a kid, you know, the boys. How are they gonna? You know what I mean? What am I gonna do about them? That will do it. Once you put in that situation where you're either gonna come through or you're not. Bank account was dipping. I didn't have no cash. Hardly any inventory. You know what I mean? It was just like that's when you stop and you figure out, okay, something's obviously not going right. Something's going wrong, really wrong here. It was like, do we cut our losses? Do we quit? Do we just say, okay, shut it down, let's have what we have saved, try and sell what we have, go back to work? And I was okay with that. I was comfortable with that. I was, you know what, I was already leaning on that side more, you know what I mean? I didn't want to come here. I hated it, dude. It drove me crazy.
Yeah.
I was depressed, dude.
Yeah.
I didn't want to be here. It wasn't working. These things weren't working.
Scared,
embarrassed. You know what I mean? You already get the criticism, and then business isn't going well. It was just.
And then for them to be right.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, exactly, dude. It was just piling on, dude. Everything that was going wrong was going wrong. We somehow stuck through it. We saw it through. We kept coming here. We kept showing up. We kept cooking, and we just kept the spirit, man. I just kind of kept the hope. You know, I kept, you know, maybe it's gonna turn around. Maybe it'll get busy again one day. A couple bad days. There's another car there. A couple good days can really change things for you, man. It'll change your way, the way you see things, the way how.
When you feel 2 feet tall.
Yeah, exactly, dude. When we sell out at 4 o'clock, dude, I mean, I am dead tired, man. Back is hurting. I'm aching everywhere. It's hot. But we sold all the food. We did what we had to do. So that it's extremely fortunate, man, to just still be here, still doing it. But I, you know, chose to do when I started this. It could be because, like I said, it could have went south multiple times. And it still can, but the more and more that we go on, the more and more you progress, and more confident we become, the more established we become as a business. You know what I mean? So I read a statistic. It's like after 5 years, that's when the restaurant expectancy, you know, to fail decrease substantially. You know what I mean? And we're almost there. You know what I mean? And it looks like we might actually make it. I don't know if we would have. My mindset would be the same. And like I said, it's probably still changing. But I don't know if my mindset would be the same had I not gone through all that. Had I not gone through that. Had I not gone through all the trials, tribulations. You have to know. You have to have a reason to stand up. You know what I mean? You get your ass knocked down. You got to figure out what are you gonna do. You know what I mean? You could stay there, but that's the easiest thing to do, right? That's the easiest thing to do is quit.
Stop.
Yeah, and that's not and it is a bad word to some people, but I don't blame those people. I don't blame the ones who fold. I don't blame the ones because it is a lot. It's stress induced. It's a lot of pressure. Not just restaurant, anything you decide, any entrepreneurship to go out and step out like that, trying to earn your own way of living. It's scary. You know, so when you have the courage to do that, I take on a newfound respect for those people. And so yeah, I mean, we got put in our ass multiple times. We got sat down by life, you know, by business, by everything that comes with it, inexperience, we got put down, and we didn't. The question, you know, posed itself to me, not in a literal sense, but up here. What are you gonna do about it? What are you gonna do? You can't hide it. You can't run to anybody. You can't hide anywhere. This is your responsibility. It's up to you to decide. And I had people telling me like, dude, I mean, you did great. Don't worry about it. You go back to work. And they said it'll be fine. You can live a normal life, and that's where it got me. You can live a normal life.
Someone told you that?
Yeah. And that's when it was. I'm like, dude, there's nothing wrong with it. People do it every day, one majority, right? I said, no, man. I said, no. I don't want to do that. I want to give it everything I got. And I came here when I didn't want to come here. And that goes to the other side of it. Instead of laying down, I rose up. I took on the challenge. I said, these are my responsibilities. I put myself in this position. I can get myself out of it. And we've done that. You know what I mean? Little by little, little by little. And the more progress you make, the more determined you get. You know what I mean? The further along you go, the more confidence you gain. And it's led all the way up. It's led all the way up to this. Us ending up in Texas Monthly. Us gonna be in it again pretty soon. Coming next week. We'll show the issue hopefully soon. It'll be in the docket. That's coming soon. We're gonna be in the 2-time Texas Monthly mentions, you know, in the fucking magazine. We're in a magazine, bro. Like that's so cool. You know what I mean? Like, in Texas Monthly. You know what I mean? And it's gonna say Mathis, and it's gonna say Butters, and that's us. And that started as an idea, and it went all the way, and it traveled all the way, and then all the way to the ink, to that page. And that's what we got for all the work, and that is going to do a lot for us. That's going to give us like I said, more validation on top of everything that comes with it, the publicity and everything like that. It's going to help me as well, because it's going to kick my ass into another gear. And I'm not there yet because the article hasn't dropped yet. You know what I mean? So I'm excited to see what's going to come of that. I saw what came from the first one. Now I'm excited to see what's going to come with this one. And once I got into that mindset of, you know, you're in charge of it, both good and bad, it completely changes how you see things. It completely changes your hunger on how you approach things.
You're hungrier.
Yeah, exactly. I am. People say, like, y'all done a lot. And I was like, I'm not done, dude. I'm not done. I'm not even close. And, I mean, this may very well be as good as it gets. But I don't think so. You know what I mean? I'm going to figure that out. And you won't know, and I won't know. Nobody in Mathis will know until we go through that. And that's just going to take some time. And that's just going to take more practice. And the ups and downs that come with it. There's going to be plenty of bad days that I don't want, but I'm going to need. Because you can't have good without bad. You know what I mean? Every bad day, it teaches you something. You know what I mean? Every bad day, it gives you a lesson. Something you need to learn. You may not know it at the time, but eventually you're going to figure out how to take that negative and find some positive. I think that's key to anything. You know what I mean? You can be mad at yourself. You can grieve. You can beat yourself up. There's a time and place for it, sure. But then you just have to, you know, put your big boy pants on after that, nut up, and say, let's get it done. You know what I mean? Yeah.
All right, man. Well, that concludes my questions, man. That concludes my time. And, I want to thank you, man, because this is inspirational people stories, and you guys are a very inspiring person, like you did here.
Thank you.
So thank you for your time, and thank you for helping me out, and thank you for everything.
Yeah, I appreciate it. Good luck.